Hey, what's going on, Kings fans and you Kings faithful out there? I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you're here for the whole video. It's not that long. Plus, I got some really important things I want to talk about with the Kings. We are actually going to break down some of Scott Perry's recent comments that he made on his Hoop Genius show. Also, Maxime Raynaud has been playing really well. Is all the Maxime Raynaud hype justified? And at this point, the Kings are about the third worst team in the NBA record-wise. Are the fans disengaging now? And do they need to be engaged? We'll talk about all those things, plus a little bit more when I come back. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Yeah, man. The Kings. We're going to be talking Kings. Yes, our record is sour. So I'm going to be more of a therapy session than anything. So don't go anywhere. Let's talk some Kings. Hey, what's going on out there? I appreciate you being here. And to all my folks, my friends, and to all you Kings fans, it's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of The King's Cup of Joe with Jay Woods. And today is the new year, January 3rd, 2026. And today is Saturday.
Erection brings fat boy joy. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to stand him up on Saturday.
I usually don't do a show on Saturday, but today I'm doing a show on Saturday.
Saturday is the Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday.
So I had a little bit of time to bring you some Kings talks and Kings therapy. So check me out. And before I get too deep in the video, guys, I ask that you please like the content, share this content if you can. That's golden. I appreciate anybody that shares this content. It just lights a nice warm fire under my heart. It makes me so happy. And please make a comment. Comment on anything I say in this video. I appreciate it. Comment on how the Kings are doing. Comment on how bad the Kings are doing. You can make a comment on the weather if you like. It's all good. Comment on anything Sacramento and Kings related. Comments also help my channel. I'm trying to grow the channel and I need your help. So go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, and share, please. You see I got my scarf on. It's a cold day outside at the G1C. A little windy, a little cold. So got the scarf on. Make sure I don't catch any colds, no throat illnesses, no scratchy throats or anything like that. I got my warm cup of coffee. It's actually mixed with a bunch of chocolate. So it's kind of like a mocha. More chocolate than anything, so it's like a hot chocolate. But I'll tell you what, it's perfect for this cold weather we're having out here at the G1C. So my first topic is, we know the Kings are 2-8. They've lost a couple games here down the stretch. They've gotten blown out in a few games. And the Kings are just, they're down and out right now. I'm seeing stuff online where the Kings actually have the worst lineup, or have been playing the worst lineup in the NBA as far as ratings go. I'm not sure how they calculate those plus minus ratings, but the Kings actually have two different lineups that have been together for over 150 possessions that have the worst ratings in the whole NBA. And it's just so weird to see that, especially when you look at the players that are on there. They had Russell Westbrook. Actually, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Okay, yeah, so I found this on Twitter. This is what it is right here. And the lineup was Westbrook, DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Precious Achiuwa, and Raynaud. Supposedly have the worst plus-minus rating in lineups that have played over 150 possessions. And then they also have another lineup on there that are that's Kings, with Schroeder, Russell Westbrook again. This one has Zach LaVine on it, and DeMar DeRozan and Sabonis on there, -17. Stats don't lie. The eye test doesn't lie either. You know, this team is very bad. It's a badly assembled team. Who's to blame for it? You could say Monty McNair in a lot of instances. Monty McNair didn't draft Raynaud. He also didn't pick up Precious Achiuwa, and he also did not pick up Westbrook. So really the only guys left on this lineup from Monty McNair is DeRozan and Keegan Murray. I believe McNair drafted. And the same with this lineup. He didn't obviously he didn't pick up Sabonis or LaVine or DeRozan, but he got Schroeder and Westbrook. So am I blaming Scott Perry? No, he hasn't been here long enough to realize his dream and what he's trying to create here. It's just I think from the beginning of the season, everybody thought that this lineup was bad. It was an uneven lineup, and it's really coming through. It's shining. It's showing. You know, it's the rough edges are showing right now at this point with how bad this team is playing. And real quick, I want to play some of Scott Perry's interview and just make some comments and kind of rate what he was saying throughout the interview real quick. I don't want to make the video too long, so we're just going to go over some of his points that he made. So I thought Mo Muncy asked some really good questions throughout this interview. It was a pretty good interview. If you get a chance, go see it. It's on the Hoop Genius podcast channel.
Scott, what's it been like making a transition from when you were first in Sacramento as kind of an advisor to now being a full GM, but also going from the media where you've been for the last couple of years, where you know you had a platform to address everything that's going on, to now you're in the front office, you can't really speak on too much. So how's that transition been for you?
Remote, when I was with you on the Hoop team.
And I do have to say, I feel like Scott Perry, he's been pretty honest on what he's doing, on the things he's doing. Obviously, he doesn't always mention who he's going after. I don't think any GM really would do that. But he's been very honest in his approach and what's kind of going on. And he's even told the fans to kind of be patient also.
Yes. We were always right.
Well, at least one of us was going to be right.
Exactly. We were always right. But, you know, my experience doing the media has really been helpful to me this time around coming into this seat. Because, again, at those couple of years, I got a chance to really step back and examine the league and not be emotionally or intellectually invested in one particular team. Right. And you got a chance to see, you know, how the league was trending, what was working, you know, what the style of play, all of that kind of stuff. You got a chance to really dive in and what the best organizations were doing.
So Scott Perry, he's tenured, and he kind of lets you know that he's been through the ropes here and there, and he has a unique perspective being from the media and also GMing for teams also.
I saw a quote from you that was out. I think it was Sam Amick who put it out. And it was regarding, you had a conversation with ownership and you told them it was a 3 to 5 year plan that you've got going on.
3 to 5 year plan, man, that doesn't make the Kings fans feel good at all. I'm telling you that right now. 5 years from now would be, it's 2026 as of today. So 5 years from now would be 2031. That's a long ass time to have to wait for this team to be good. And I think they're saying, maybe he's saying championship. Because it'd be nice to see this team get into the playoffs sooner than 5 years.
Over in Sacramento. I thought it would be a good chance for you to speak directly to the fans who are in a bit of a tough situation and a bit anxious about what's happening, to kind of give them an insight into and expand on what you meant by that.
First of all,
Mo's asking some great questions already.
To go back on that passage in the report, if you know me well enough, I never put a time frame on anything.
Well, you know the internet well enough, Scott. You know no one's reading the full reports. They're getting the headline.
3 to 5, no. Look, all I've always talked about is that we got to have some patience and we got to be prudent throughout this process. So for however long it's going to take, again, to build a sustainable winner. And so what we're at in the early process now is really just trying to establish a foundation.
And he wants the Kings fans to have patience. That's one thing they don't have at this point. We've waited a long time and supported this team for a long time, and we're just ready to see this team do some things in the playoffs.
Build on an organizational foundation about what we're going to be about. I think last time I was on, I talked to you about these 6 pillars that are very important. And again, being out for a few years, really got a chance to study winning organizations, not just in basketball, but football, baseball, whatever. And a lot of them had the following: competitive, tough, team-oriented.
Sounds good on paper. I mean, he talks a great game, I'll tell you that.
Professional, accountable, and disciplined. We're looking for our entire organization to mirror those pillars, not just the basketball players, but the coaches, front office, everybody that comes in contact with us. And then, from a playing standpoint, we want to be a team that's going to defend, rebound, and share the basketball. Play with great energy and pace.
Which are some things they are not doing currently.
So that's what we're going to be building towards. And so ownership and I are completely aligned in terms of how we're going to go about doing this. And they've been extremely supportive and continue to be. And look, as you both well know, and Brendan lived for a number of years, the importance of symmetry between ownership, front office, and the rest of the organization is key.
It's kind of interesting he didn't say coach right there. He just said rest of the organization. Symmetry between the GM, the ownership, and the rest of the organization. I would like to say coach also should be added in there also.
Key to any team being successful. So that's what we have, and we'll continue to work together and do the very best we can to make the people of Sacramento extremely proud of what we ultimately put together here.
Sounds good. Let's see if he can make it happen.
To listeners around the world, how hard, what we mean by roster construction and how difficult it is with the rules. It's not like a fantasy team where you get to pick your players and stuff like that, or the great Mo on his NBA 2K26 putting together the dream team.
So he, I don't know, they're going into roster construction, first and second apron. I'm not very aware of those things. I don't know how those things work, first apron, second apron. It's all kind of new stuff to me. Maybe they can explain it a little better.
So Scott, how does this work now with the roster construction? You inherited salaries, as every team in the league has salary. You inherit this. And it's not just about, well, we'll take this guy for this guy and do all that. It's so complex, I think.
Oh, I know it's extremely complex, and I think this makes deals harder to do. As the both of you well know, look, there's 3 ways you're going to improve your basketball team in terms of talent. That's through the draft, through free agency, and through trades. And so, to your point, talking about trades now, and the number of teams that are negotiating either the first or second apron. Now, if you're dealing with the second apron team and you're trying to trade, let's say, bigger salary, the huge impediment for that team is A, they can't take back $1 more. B, they can't aggregate, meaning they can't trade you 2 or 3 players to equal the salary of maybe one player that you want to trade. So now, that makes it extremely difficult to deal with those teams. So it takes out, almost a third of the league in a sense of being able to do maybe one-to-one deal.
That's a little bit of really good insight. Sometimes the fans are wondering why nothing's happening, or it seems like nothing is happening. Fans get a little frustrated at times, like, what's going on? Are these guys sitting on their hands? Same thing with Monty McNair. It's like, what's going on? He's giving you a little insight into why sometimes some of these trades are really hard to actually conduct.
In that type of example, so that's why you end up seeing the thought process behind 3 and 4 team deals because you're trying to massage everybody's apron issues. You know, and your better teams more than likely are either approaching the second apron or in the second apron because they've got, you know, they've invested in big players and that have helped them win and pushed them into that area. So, but even those teams are always looking to tweak their rosters, but they're trying to find the right fit, you know, between your roster and their roster and making sure that they either they have the salary has to match perfectly or they take back a little less, you know, makes it difficult. You know, and it's changed even the nature of free agency too.
Yeah.
From what I can tell. And so
I don't know. In my opinion, I don't know. The league is trying to make it harder for these guys to move around too much or to change teams too often and create their own super teams. It's just what it seems like. It's really constricting and hard to do trades and conduct trades. I don't know. This is some really good stuff. This is some really good juicy stuff. We'll do one more of these. I don't want to make the video too long, but maybe I'll make another video. Look out for that, where I just break down this whole video. It's a pretty long video. It's about almost an hour. So I don't want to make my video too long, not this Cup of Joe video. So we'll just go over one more question that they had, and I'll break down the full video on another video. So be on the lookout for that.
Player who, over the month of December, has somewhat broken out. Maxime Raynaud, over the past month, is averaging 16.4 points and 9.4 rebounds per game. Can you speak a little bit about him?
That's pretty good. I didn't even know his stats. He's Maxime Raynaud is averaging 16 points and 9 rebounds, almost 10 rebounds a game. It's really good. He's averaging damn near a double-double. It's pretty good development, if you ask me.
Max, and the growth you've seen early in the season for him?
So proud of Max and how he's really attacked this process. You know, going back to the summer when we drafted him, the one thing that stood out to me the very first summer league practice and then to go on and watch him play for the summer league was just how vocal he was defensively. And Brendan, you know how important this is when your center position and your backline defenders.
That's good. He talks on defense. A lot of people talk about his defense and the fact that he needs to bulk up. But that's one good thing he does defensively is that he talks and he communicates. You have to talk and communicate on defense because a lot of times guys have their backs turned to you or backs turned to the basket, so they don't always know what's going on all over the whole court.
Are very vocal because they can see what's happening out front. I mean, his voice was as good as any veteran's voice that I've heard in a while because he was communicating actions and screens, and so he brought that skill set into the league. And we knew coming out of college that he had the ability to score. He's got a good skill set in and around the basket. He uses left, right hand. I think he's going to really develop into a guy that can make 3-pointers from beyond the arc.
And he's already shot pretty well. He's shot some pretty good threes for being a tall guy the way he is. Tall, lanky guys sometimes can't shoot well. But like I always say in my other videos, he's like a unicorn type player who's very mobile, 7 foot, and can do a lot of things. As you can see coming into this league, there's a lot of 7-footers that are starting to be more like that. They're not just centers bumbling around. They're just block and rebound and do things like that down low. There's a lot of guys that are 7 foot that are coming out that can shoot threes, drive to the basket, play defense, pass. So he's hopefully he can be one of those type of players. He is starting out like that. Hopefully he can just get better at these things.
He has touch to do that. And the thing I'm most pleased about is the growth in his rebound. What we've challenged him here is that, look, if you want to be a really good player in this league, you got to do more than just rebound your area. You got to go pursue him and go get him. Because if you wait on him, as you know, Brendan, you'll never get him when you wait on him. You got to attack him. And he has really grown in that area, as evidenced by the stats that you said he's registered over the past month. He's not afraid. I think the big thing for him now, he's got to continue to get stronger, and he's got to continue to keep going against these big, strong bodies and throwing a lot at him. But he's a very smart guy with a very high basketball IQ. And I think he has a really bright future as an NBA player, and we're glad to have him here in Sacramento.
I agree with that. I think he definitely has a very bright future in the NBA. He did get hurt last night. Westbrook kicked the back of his foot, the back of his leg. Nothing's come out negative about it yet. He says it was just a weird, funny feeling that he never felt before. So he's thinking it wasn't too bad. But I want to say they're giving him an MRI today, and pretty soon the news should be out as far as what happened to him. And I just hope it ain't nothing super serious like an ACL tear or anything like that, meniscus tear. That'd be horrible for the young guy. So hopefully he can keep developing this year without any serious injuries, and he keeps playing and keeps developing. His future is bright, I believe, for the Kings as well. So he could be one of our future pieces that we really can use in the future. So I'm just going to cut the interview portion of this video short. I don't want to make this video super long. Broke down a couple of his comments, but I think I'm going to do a video where I break down everything he talked about in that video. It'll probably be a really long video, probably around an hour long, because that's how long the interview was. I'll take out some parts, but be on the lookout for that. I'm going to break down this whole interview. It was a really good interview, or just go check out the interview yourself over on the Hoop Genius. It's on there on the YouTube channel. This is a perfect segue into Maxime Raynaud. I did have my next segment was, is the Maxime Raynaud hype justified? I believe it is. I think he could be a really good player for this team. He's already been really good for this team, like you just heard, averaging 16 points, 10 rebounds. I think the kid has a really bright future. I want to see what happened to him last night. I really hope he didn't get hurt or seriously injured. I pray to God it wasn't an ACL tear, because that would just really slow down his development and his progress. He'll be out for a whole year. We wouldn't see him again until next season sometime, and I don't want that for the young guy. I'm hoping he just has a sprained knee at this point, and maybe he'll take a few games off, and hopefully he'll be able to come back. I pray it's not ACL tear. That'll just slow down his development altogether if that's what happened. But I do believe the hype is justified. This is a good young player. He might not be the strongest guy yet or the toughest guy yet, but he can get there. He can get stronger. He can hit the weights. I don't know if he'll ever be a super buff, tough guy, but he's long. He can make blocks. He can block guys. He can put his chest in front of people, and he can hit the weight room. I'm liking his hook shot. He has a nice hook shot. He's very ambidextrous, too. He makes the hook shot with his right hand and his left hand. He has some really good post moves, which I believe the Kings need some scoring down there in the post, especially since Sabonis isn't there. We definitely need that guy. If Raynaud is injured, who are we left with? I'm going to say all we have left is Eubanks. I think Sarge is still hurt. Sabonis is still hurt for like another month. So that would be really bad if he went down. We wouldn't really have a center anymore besides Eubanks, and they'd be playing a real small lineup for the rest of the season. In my opinion, the season is already cooked. The season, should be used to develop young guys and not try to win many games. Basically a tank season without trying to tank, develop young guys. Got a bunch of guys injured anyway, so it's going to be hard to not tank in the current situation this team is in. So keep going forward like that. I just want to see these guys develop. I don't want to see blowouts and 40-point blowouts. Those are kind of depressing. But I know these guys aren't going to win a ton of games, but at least I want to see them fighting, at least playing. I want to see the young guys developing, some decent product out there on the court, so I can at least watch this team that I love. Fans will still go to the arena and get the experience that way. So the ticket prices, the ticket prices have dropped, so that's good news if you want to go watch a Kings game. But we need our fans to keep going. Obviously, we're not having sellouts every game like we used to, because this team is really bad. But I don't want us to fall off to the point where we're the worst team in the league. I guess it really doesn't matter, because that would mean we would get the number one pick. But I do like watching these young guys develop and these young guys fight against some of these other NBA teams out there. And I believe Maxime Raynaud's hype is totally justified. He's going to be a very good young player coming up in the NBA. I just think they need to draft somebody next to him, or get somebody next to him, a bigger body, power forward, a gritty power forward that could rebound, push guys around, bump guys around, get a hard foul when we need a hard foul, and pull some of these rebounds, just so we can utilize this new look NBA where you have two bigs, which is really like a big and a tall. You know, both guys are going to rebound. Both guys are going to play defense. But, you know, one of them might be able to shoot. One of them might be able to hit the perimeter and shoot threes. And I think Maxime would help with that look of the new style NBA, where they're using two bigs on most of these teams now. And my last topic for today is, did you realize the Kings have the third worst record in the NBA? It's pretty bad at this point. They're one of the worst offensive teams and one of the worst defensive teams. Are Kings fans disengaged from because of that? Possibly. The casuals, I'm sure, are probably not watching as much anymore. But, you know, that's the state that they're in right now. I don't want these guys to win a ton of games. I want these guys to get a high draft pick anyway. And like a lot of us say, we didn't think they were going to be this bad, but they're this bad. They're one of the worst offensive teams in the league and one of the worst defensive teams in the league. So what can you expect? You know, on one hand, I want to see good basketball. On the other hand, I don't mind the tank because I want a good pick for this team. And hopefully we get multiple good picks this offseason. Not sure what's going to come up this trade deadline, but I would like to see at least one or two of these guys get traded off of this team for some picks for the future. And not a 1-and-1, not another guy, not another vet that's going to sap up money and energy, but some young guys, some rookies. That's what I want. And I think the Kings and Scott Perry are probably preparing for that, with Scott Perry saying it's going to take 3 to 5 years, which in my opinion is a while. Maybe saying 3 to 5 years to get a championship, which I guess is understandable. But hopefully these guys can make it back to the playoffs within a year or two. You can't really expect much from this season. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not going to be in the play-in. And can you hope for good basketball? I guess you can, but I don't know how much of it we're going to get. So if you're disengaged, I understand. But do understand, we do still need to go watch the games. A lot of people will say don't support the team if they're this bad. Why pay your hard-earned money to go out and watch something like this? It's basically a strike against Vivek when you don't go to the games. So, I don't know. I guess maybe stay home. Stay home. Watch the game from home. These guys are heavily sponsored. They're going to make their money either way. So, if you're disengaged, I understand. But anyway, that's my cup of Joe. French roast, 1 creamer. With that, you have a good rest of your day. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I talk Kings. I give my opinion on the Kings, and I also have a show where I give news about the Kings, more fact-based. This show is more opinionated, so subscribe. It's all about the Kings. If you like to hear about the Kings, you want a therapist to talk you through some of these Kings games, some of these Kings things that are happening, subscribe. I invite you to subscribe. Also, please, we're trying to grow the channel. If you click that like button, it really helps. Also, please make a comment. Comment on the Kings. Comment on how the Kings are doing. Comment on how I'm doing. Hey, comment on the weather. I don't care. Comment on anything. Comments help as well. And if you share the content, then that's really big, and I would really appreciate that. So if you do, a big thanks ahead of time. But anyway, with that, I'm out. But before you go, check out these moves. It's good.
Now